Michael Cohen testified today that he acted on Donald Trump's orders to cover up all sex scandals involving the former president. That included paying adult film actress Stormy Daniels $130,000. Former fixer turned foe is the key witness in Trump's hush money trial. Joining us now to discuss today's developments is Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson. Jessica, good to see you. Can you walk us through what happened in court today?
I think exactly as you said, Michael Cohen is there to basically put the pieces together. Everything that the jury heard from the prosecution, he's there to say, and I actually have a firsthand account. And so here's what happened. The former president directed me to make that payment to Stormy Daniels, which in and of itself may not be illegal. And then he restructured the payment back to me, Michael Cohen, in a way to commit or conceal another crime. And that other crime, in this case, we think the prosecution will point to election interference and or tax fraud. So Michael Cohen is really there to say, Trump knew what was going on. He intended for all of this to happen. And this was all about the election. That's something we heard from Michael Cohen and other witnesses. This wasn't about making sure that Trump's family or business associates didn't hear Stormy Daniels' allegations. It's about making sure that the voters didn't hear the allegations.
So Trump's team keeps calling Michael Cohen a liar, and he was a liar. He was convicted of lying to Congress. He lied under oath. He's admitted the fact that he lied, he says, on behalf of Donald Trump. How do the prosecutors get around the fact that their key witness is somebody who lied?
Well, and not only lies, but admittedly holds a grudge against the former president. So it's not just somebody who has credibility issues. Let's be honest. It's also somebody who I think really, really hates former President Trump and therefore would have allegedly, according to the defense, I think a motivation to lie here. Now, for the prosecution, what they're going to say is they have to acknowledge, and I think this is why they really didn't correct witnesses who described Michael Cohen, for instance, as somewhat unhinged, as not particularly good at his job. What the prosecution is really going to do is say, he's somebody who might have credibility problems. He's somebody who doesn't like the former president. But let's look at everybody who corroborated what he's saying. Let's look at all of the documentary evidence that corroborates what he's saying. You don't have to like Michael Cohen. You don't have to think he's a good guy. Look at everything else and then look to see if Michael Cohen's testimony fits within that.
Can we just talk for a moment about the human drama at play here? Michael Cohen was Donald Trump's right-hand man, fixer. They used to talk to each other multiple times a day, every day. He did all this stuff for him. Then he ends up not getting a job in the White House. He ends up having to go to jail, he thinks, for him. And now he's all over the place trying to get him in prison. Can you talk about this moment that the two of them have to sit there and look at each other?
I mean, it is a very high-profile version of something that, frankly, some people have gone through before. Think about not just a divorce, but think about a business arrangement that falls apart. Think about any sort of very close relationship where things fall apart so dramatically that you end up in court. Maybe you're suing each other. Maybe it's plaintiff defendant. Maybe in this case, it's witness and defendant. But in this case, obviously it's different because it's not just former business associates. It's the former president of the United States and his very, very well-known fixer. And one has to imagine that it was, let's say, understatement of the decade, awkward at times in the courtroom.
For both of them, and probably for the jury watching the two of them watch each other as well. Jessica Levinson, thanks for your insights on this. Really appreciate it.